global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news for you, and the headline reads: Bomb explosion destroys 100 houses, schools, churches in Southwest. Where is Amotekun? See details, but before we go into the news proper and further analysis, we do like you to subscribe to our channels by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, let's go straight into the news of the day. No fewer than 100 residential buildings, schools, churches were destroyed by an explosion suspected to be bomb blast in Akure, the Ondo state capital. That's on Saturday morning. The blast, which occurred in the early hours of Saturday, cut off the ever busy Akure Owo Road, while many people were said to be very much injured. The incident, which happened less than a kilometer to Akure Airport, affected many residents of Eleyowo community, destroying completely a church and a school in the area. Many people who lived within the church premises were said to be very injured, while some were rescued by the people of the community. The school with boarding facilities were destroyed beyond repair, with the roofs of all the buildings blown off. The spot at which the bomb or blast happened cut off the road entirely, hindering vehicular movement. Alright, that's the news. In a moment, you're going to be seeing the pictures of how bad, I mean, how terrible the situation is. You could see a situation where a whole landmass was rooted off. Okay, and you could see also some places where the trees, the plants that are there are totally dead, gone. The buildings, the roofs, all gone. Then you can see some people coming out, no vehicular movement, the road has been cut off. You could see some community members coming out to become eyewitness. Just early hours of this morning, I was privy to some persons who felt that the sound they heard was a rapturable sound. Someone said, one of them came online and said, look, it looks like a rapture taking place in Akure, in Ondo state, that the sound they heard, that it shook, that he was actually in the toilet. He had to run out because he thought a rapture had taken place. A whole lot of them were just reacting, whoa, why is it that we're hearing this kind of heavy, serious sound? Is it only in Akure, Ondo state, or is there other places in Nigeria? One or two of my friends were like, look, even rapture is going to take place, it's going to be very universal. It won't have to be only Akure, it's going to be the same time, at the same time for everybody around the world. It doesn't have to be only Akure. Whatever it is people are facing must be something unique and peculiar to Akure people, as in to Ondo people. And it came out to be very true. As very early hours of this morning, this happened. A lot of persons didn't know what happened, but we just knew that some of them who were living very far away could still feel the venom. They could still feel the traces, the effect, the impact of the bomb, but they couldn't tell what it was. They felt it was a rapture. For those who are Christians, they felt it was a rapture because it was too unique, it was too peculiar, the sound was too loud for it to just be normal. Well, it looks as if the stories the Boko boys are making rounds, the Fulanis are making rounds, is beginning to come to pass. Technically, I'm presuming now, because all of a sudden we're beginning to see bomb blasts here and there. Don't forget that Lagos had a fair share of theirs. They said it was a case of explosion. They called it pipeline, but a lot of people were saying that maybe it's beyond pipeline. Sometime in January, yes, I think I brought the video and also the pictures of how these guys in one of southeastern states follows one of these Fulani herdsmen who planted a bomb below, very close to, in between a school and a church. The southeasterners are predominantly Christians. In fact, they are all Christians. They don't play with their money mass. Oh, no. They don't play with that. That early money mass, very important. They always go for that money mass. So those who have lived there know that these guys are predominantly Christian. They're predominantly Christians, and they don't play with going to church. So if you plant anything like bomb very close to the school and also very close to the church, you're aiming at a very big crowd here. And luckily for the community, the youth in that community, 1 or 2 persons saw them around 11 p.m., raised the alarm. The youth traced the steps of the Fulani herdsmen where they saw them last, and they were able to disarm, brought out the bomb. If you check our feed, you will see the video. Brought out the bomb and disarmed it, and they became more vigilant. Now, before now, the Brutai said something quite unique. Said, look, that the Boko boys have decided, moved in, they're now in Lagos. They're really upon it, that they're working on seeing how they can, totally, technically they were defeated. We're looking at a situation where they can totally stop and eradicate their movement. But obviously, it's like they have silently been creeping in. It's amazing though that this bomb was planted, because this was not, it is not the day they planted it. Yes, because if you watch the explosion, the effect was too much, which means it was not just one bomb planted, which means they must have, all this while people were working gently, they have successfully planted it. It was just a case of detonating it at the same time. That was just the trick, and they did it at the same time. I don't know the cause of death. As of now, we don't know the number of casualties. I'm talking about number of deaths, in this whole thing. But we know that a lot of persons have been injured, and I'm wondering. This is me now wondering, where is Amotekun? How long will it take them to realize that they need to be up and running? What with this COVID-19 coming, would there be really big gathering? Would there be people coming out to say, look, we need to secure our community because COVID-19 does not support social gathering? But let's feel the pulse of Nigerians over this very important news, because honestly, this is a serious one. While we are still talking about COVID-19, we still have the internal crisis of the Boko boys and the Fulani herdsmen still within Nigeria. God needs to come to the aid of Nigerians, I tell you. But let's feel the pulse of Nigerians before we go into deep analysis over the effect of this and the fact that Amotekun needs to be up and running. This one here say, what exactly what happened at Abule, Lagos State, and the novice called the pipeline explosion. I just said that some few minutes ago. This one here say, Amotekun, take note, Boko Haram is at work. May the Lord take control. Amen. This one here say, what's going on in the southwest? I don't know. This one here is saying, soon Egypt will tell us that it's a gas pipeline explosion. We are deceiving ourselves. Honestly, this one here say, this one here said, low. All room things. Well, I guess it's making the president Buhari here. This here is saying another pipeline explosion. COVID-19 will visit anyone that will change the narrative again. I want to employ all the Southwest governors to swing into action. Honestly, that's what should be done. They shouldn't keep waiting. Look, that bomb explosion does not look like something that happened that people mistook it for rapture. That's to tell you the effect. 100 houses destroyed. You can just imagine the magnitude of this bomb explosion we're talking about. This one here said, what is this again? This is not a kitty, this is Akure actually. He said, is it another gas pipeline as out of Lagos? Well, this is not a gas pipeline because of the truth. They have actually agreed that it's a bomb. There's no pipeline there. Nobody should call it a pipeline anything. There is no pipeline running there. There's no NNPC pipeline running there. This is explosion. This one here said, another explosion again. We haven't forgotten the one that happened in Lagos weeks back. And soon, and one so soon. Hope people are praying and getting ready against all these happenings. That's why the social security, the regional security outfit is needed. This one says, end times is, where are we going where are we going in this very country? I guess that's what he's trying to say here. His write-up is really not wonderful. This one I say, indeed we are in the last days. Oh God, tender anger with mercy. But this is the Boko Haram activities. This was a third world war, and I don't think so. I think this is a case of negligence on our part. Look, this whole thing depends on our security. Now, what is even worrisome right now is that in the case of COVID-19, we are not supposed to mingle, okay? Stay at home and all that. But then security is important. If we all stay at home now, as it is, where there's a lockdown, this is the best time to detonate every bomb that has been planted in the southwest. You may not agree with me, but it's the truth. Now imagine that all this while we're moving quietly, you can imagine what happened in Akure, Ondo State this morning. And people at home, we're just imagining now, we're on lockdown as it is right now, and they've already planted this bomb. All they need to do is to detonate it. And you can imagine the number of casualties because people are at home, so they will catch a lot of indigenes unawares. But what we're saying here is the fact that what we're saying is, look, Amotekun be up and running. Give Amotekun the necessary education they need to do. They need for COVID-19, as in sanitizers, where the case may face masks, protective clothes, their hand gloves, whatever it is, and they should be protecting their people. Because the truth be told, if we're all on lockdown, who is protecting who here? If everybody's on lockdown, that means whatever they have detonated, wherever they have planted the bomb, they'll start detonating it. That means while we're still fighting the common enemy, global enemy of COVID-19, then we have the internal enemy of the Fulani Herdsmen to contend with. We have the internal enemy of the Boko Haram to contend with. Will we survive this? By the time this whole thing is gone, we may be counting the numbers here. Look, I am saying that while we do what we do, there should be some sort of vigilante set up for those who do not have regional security outfit, established yet. But for the Southwest, honestly, this is coming as a shock to me because I feel by now there's so much noise that have been made, so much noise about Amotekun. I thought by now they should be up and running. Okay, now COVID-19 came and took over, but then the issue of bombing, as you can see, has not changed. Barely 5 weeks ago, something similar happened in Lagos State. They called it pipeline explosion. There's no pipeline running through here. And you can imagine from the pictures you've seen, you can imagine the magnitude of this bomb. Honestly, we need to wake up. All our youth, we need to wake up. Our monarchs need to wake up. Southwest need to wake up. Southeast need to wake up. All regions need to wake up. Because while we're talking about the common enemy of COVID-19, there are also the internal crisis that needs to be cleansed now. But that's my take on this. What do you think about this sudden explosion that has raged over Ondo State? Talking about Akure this morning, and the scores of that have not been recorded, but there's so many injured, and some of the community members are coming out to see what is really going on. Some persons thought it was a rapture taking place only in Akure, but obviously that is no rapture. That is a bomb. That's a heavy, massive one, and about 100 houses have been razed down already. Roofs are already gone. We don't know the number of deaths, but casualties are really growing. Let's interact in our comment section. What do you think about the